Alright, so we're back into game number 3 between Dongrigu and Curious. In the lower right-hand corner on Whirlwind, we do have our red Zerg MVP, Dongrigu. And in the bottom left is Star Tails Curious as the blue Zerg. So as you can see, we're already a little bit into this game, and of course nothing happened. There's no early pools or anything like that. In fact, they both did a 15 hatch.
DRG went for that early pool, or sorry, early gas once again, while Curious this time opted for the pool for the gas to be a bit safer.
Alright, so last time we didn't see that much aggression, you know.
Last time just mostly came down to the DRG Roaches being able to snipe infestors in the start, then using his economy lead to remax on the Roach Hydra, while Curious was trying to get a mix of all the tech units with his Roaches and just was a bit too slow on that. So if it comes down to a micro game, that's something that could possibly happen again.
And what's that's kind of one thing we haven't seen is a micro game. You know, we haven't seen those ling bling wars that are so often.
And luckily for Curious, actually, he scouted with an Overlord directly into the main, while DRG has no idea what's going on. He doesn't know what opener that Curious is going for, while Curious knows well what DRG is going for. And actually, Curious went for a gasless opener once again. We're gonna probably see 4 queens come out.
Yeah, once again, something that's been definitely popular with the Zergs in this tournament especially is that no gas style. Dongrigu already has the 100 mind. He's getting speed. It's almost halfway done. There we go.
Okay, so Curious opting for the early spine crawler because he scouted that DRG went for super early gas. And actually, DRG is making some links to pressure. This spine is actually going to be really good.
Well, we've been seeing a spine out of Curious, I think, the last 2 games, in fact. And he's definitely been the safer one with that spine continuously. And there's not
Curious
a bailing nest for him, though.
Definitely not someone who wants to lose to early game shenanigans, which is exactly what DRG is doing with some... He's hiding the lings, so this suggests he's going for a really big attack instead of just pressuring in the start.
Oh, he cancelled that bailing nest and brought that rogue drone.
Yeah, I think after DRG saw that in the natural a creep terminal was going down, he's going to be playing gasless style. And what he wants to do instead is just make a ton of Zerglings before any roaches or a lot of spines can come up.
Alright, so I think Curious has seen it with an Overlord. Dongryu's not wasting any time. He's going straight forward. There are some lings and a lot of coins as well as that spine crawler. And Dongriu, at least with this pack of lings, is not going to be able to do anything. There's another one.
If he can't do anything with this, he's going to be really behind.
Yeah.
He's already down 10 drones. And there are 4 queens.
Oh my gosh, he's down by a lot of drones.
Yeah. Wow, DRG's continuing to make lings and a bailing nest. So I think we're just going to see Curious win this series by defending this tank.
Well, 2 queens do go down. The other 2 are still blocking the ramp. I don't think they're going to go down. In fact, they do not. The 2 spine crawlers doing a ton of damage to Dongryu's lings. And like you said, he's not able to do anything with that attack. He's so far behind. Yeah,
he actually got a really good pick off on the queens there. He did what he could. The queens didn't get to hide in a nook behind the mineral, for example, or in the ramp. So there was a lot of surface area for DRG and his lings. And this will just come down to whether DRG can micro really, really well and take out all the defensive units that Curious had. But Curious at this point of the game is starting to close off the wall, and with 2 spines, with 2 queens and then 2 spines behind it, as well as a ton of lings on his own.
He has those Overlords, over Dongryu's line of reinforcements, so he knows he's not stopping, and all these bailings are to come in. They're not, they're just a really weird spread coming out from both players, but Dongryu does get into the main.
Curious was, I think he should have just walled off completely, say with another evolution chamber, or just put the queens on hold position there. Instead, Curious let the wall open, or left the wall open, and DRG just ran everything in. Curious didn't have any DPS to get all the bailings.
Wow, that was a nice bailing hit right there. In fact, how many drones have been lost so far? 16 have been lost. Would you consider that nicely done by Dongryu? I think I would.
Yeah, for sure. He's losing a ton more drones than he should have. Just because he left, his defense was adequate if he walled off properly, I feel. But
yeah,
DRG was able to just run everything in time and time again.
He was so afraid of those bailings that he actually split, I believe. So, he minimized the bailing damage, I guess, technically.
And finally, he's closed off the wall, but it's too late because if you look at the drones, DRG is actually ahead, and he's got a ton of wings out too.
Luckily, Curious did see this, trying to hide some banelings in there. That doesn't matter. There's nothing in the main right now, which is really a sad sight to see. Everything's at the natural currently. But yeah, Darngu, he's joining up behind this. He's getting 7 drones out. He's really powering his economy. He knows he's done the damage that he needed to do.
Yeah, this I think Curious is pretty upset with himself right now, maybe because he had a really good opportunity there to just close out the series by defending the attack that he saw coming.
Yeah, I mean, he saw it coming. I think he overestimated how well he's going to be able to defend it. Like you said,
sometimes that happens. Yeah, when you think you're just going to defend it.
Yeah. Happens all the time, actually.
Make a mistake and everything goes wrong.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Darngu, as you can see on the production tab, he is getting a lot of things right now. Lair, gases, Roach Warren, as well as a lot more drones. Unfortunately, Curious, he really has no choice but to, go all in with drones. He's not going to be attacking anytime soon. It was really either or.
I think if his queens were in a better position in the start with at the ramp, they were caught below the ramp and killed off by the lings. The queens would have helped so much versus the follow-up attack. But Curious managed to take a ton of damage, so his free win, let's say, it's not really a free win anymore. He's going to have to fight for it. Yeah,
definitely fight for it. In fact, actually fight back for it. Darngu's lair is almost done. He's getting 2 Evo Chambers, getting a bunch of Roaches as well. Now, do you expect him to go into something like Hydras and Infestors, or actually just get that speed and then go?
Yeah, DRG has 2 Evos coming up, and he's going to get the Roach speed in a second. While Curious has upgrades not even started, and his lair halfway done. DRG is gonna be able to take his 3rd really, really quickly. Oh, he's sending a drone actually and gonna place it. While Curious he can't really do the same.
No, Darngu still has Lings patrolling, on his side of the map as well. Now, some Lings of Curious are gonna come in here, maybe get a cancel.
This is gonna be annoying if he can get the cancel.
Yeah, might get the drone as well. Baneling's coming in here, so say, I'm saving you, and that's unfortunately did not happen.
So it just bought Curious a bit of time on that 3rd timing. DRG's not going to be able to mine from it for, like, let's say, 20 seconds.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it would be a much bigger deal if he had his own 3rd getting out here. Now, he does send a drone over, but the Lings that are on who can return the favor. There's no 3rd coming out for Curious anytime soon. Overload does go down. I guess it's a nice free win for the Queens. And he's starting to push out those Spine Crawlers, which is a good use of the Spine Crawlers. I mean, you got them, so you might as well use them.
Yeah, for sure.
Ling here from Darngu is just chilling out, actually. Not going to the main. There it goes into the main. He's going to try and cancel this. I think he will get the cancel.
Oh,
no.
No. But the hatchery is going to lose a bit of HP when it's done, which should be okay for the most part. Just at this point of the game, both player wants to saturate their 3rd base without dying to a Roach attack.
Well, we do see a lot
DRG
of
actually
Roaches.
is just making Roaches, and it's not even bothering to drone up his 3rd. He wants to go for that one attack, which will just cripple Curious. Or do some attack and then try to drone his 3rd at the same time.
Is he going to pull back to try and save it? Okay.
He's okay. He's got so many Roaches, they're like everywhere.
They are. So now he does push forward, and he thinks he has... I mean, he has 1-1 and he has speed. So this is what I was talking about, earlier. Is like he could do this, and that's what he's choosing to do.
This will be really hard for Curious to hold off.
He has some Roaches of his own as well as a Spine, so this pack of Roaches definitely not going to do it. In fact, he's just going to target down the Spine, waiting for his reinforcements to come back up.
Curious's counterattack with the Lings aren't going to do anything. DRG left some Roaches there. Here the main engagement, Roach versus Roach, but there's a Queen and a Spine, 2 Queens and a Spine. Yeah,
Darngu actually tried to circumvent the Spine a little bit, but it is targeting those ones on the right, so he is pushed back, unfortunately. He had the upgrades, and of course he had the speed, but it wasn't enough. Curious just having enough Roaches. Curious is also getting Burrow. We might, start doing those, 2 to 4 Roach attacks on the 3rd and stuff like that again.
So with the defender's advantage of the Queens and the Spines, and the faster rally of Roaches, he was able to hold that off really well. So since DRG didn't drone up his 3rd, even though he has faster 3rd timing, his lead from the earlier game is pretty much negated. Except for the upgrades, he's still ahead on that, of course.
Yeah, of course. And he's also up on drones as well, so he's going to, his 3rd will be saturated very, very nicely. As we can see, it's already getting to that point. Just curious, though, he's still coming up with those, and he's actually chasing down Darngu's own Roaches. Darngu forced to make a few more. What is the drone count currently? It is 61 to 53, so 61 for Darngu.
It's even now, and Curious actually has 6 more on the way, so I think in ZVZ, it's You usually want to be the one defending because you can get away with something and then use defender's advantage. And the guy who attacks, if you overcommit, then you're gonna be even in a better spot.
Do you see another Contaminate? You know, Curious was the one using Contaminate last game as well. Of course, it was just on a hatch. That does, you know, limit the larva production, but I'd love to see it do it, you know.
Oh, he did it on an
Oh, he
evolution
did.
chamber
All right,
too.
there you go. So, using that spell,
Yeah.
is something
Korean
that a lot of
Zergs
people do.
usually go with Contaminate on double overseer sometimes even.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see.
Definitely. You know, so we want to see more of that type of stuff. Actually, really underused, even when some Korean players play. But the upgrades are about to finish for Dongyu, so he has another timing where he's going to have 2-2 over his opponent's 1-1.
Yeah. But it's crazy that in the early game, it looked like both players could have had a chance to just win, the defender and the attacker. But I guess both of them made mistakes later on to negate it. And
Dongyu's going to go in here. He has 34 roaches to 40. He does have the Hydralisk, but of course they're not with that clump of units. He's waiting back home with them. I think they're going to be
He has a
stretching him
sizable
over.
amount of Hydras, and
Yeah.
about a dozen.
Oh, and he's up by about 10 supply.
Oh, and here Curious is making infestors, which means DRG, if he attacks right now, he's gonna just be verse Roach, and Roach Hydra obviously beats that.
Right, so, and these are only 3 infestors, and you can have a nice arc on Whirlwind, so the 3 infestors...
What Curious needs now is time for his
Yeah.
upgrades to finish, and also for the infestors to pop.
Right, so this is where you really wanted to see those counterattacks that we saw last game. Unfortunately, he's not being able to get any of those type of things done. And now he knows that Dongyu's going to attack right here. He's trying to get the best defense possible, getting another Spine Crawler as well. But the infestors, I think they're about to pop out just now.
Infestors are going to be in the nick of time. And with a better concave and spines, it should be a hold, I'd say.
Well, it's 2-2, I believe, against 2-1. Curious's +2 character's not quite done, but those fungals are going down on a lot of the right half of Dongyu's army, and I think he does have to retreat. I mean, this is kind of what we're seeing a lot in ZVZ nowadays, is that the defenders, most of the time winning, and unfortunately, Curious has so much that he's actually going to go ahead and chase Dongyu's army down here.
Yeah, these Hydras have to get away. If they die, it's a really bad loss for DRG.
Hydras are very expensive. They're the ones that you would love for them to get away, but they're so slow. That's why they're so bad, according to Angelus.
So Curious has an army lead and also a bit of a bank. So, he's actually just backing off.
Well,
doesn't want to overcommit. That's one of those things that'll lose you the game, even if you're in a good spot.
There have been a lot of ZVZs today and yesterday where people overcommit, like in situations exactly like this, and they really don't have to, and it actually goes back into the person's favor. Now he's burrowing to regenerate. That's a really nice use of that spell that he got much earlier. Dongyu's finally getting his own infestation pit as well.
And DRG snuck some changelings around the bases, in the main and third, so he's really on point with his scouting. And he's got a really good Overlord spread, but this will backfire once the Hydras are out, because he'll lose the OVs. One Curious attacks. That happens.
Of course, and you know, sometimes you do see players get supply blocked because they leave those Overlords out there when the army is charging forward. But Dongyu, for the most part of this game, it's really been Curious just defending, and Dongyu trying to do something on his side of the map.
Yeah, so Curious taking his fourth, just playing defensively. DRG starting his 3-base hive.
Oh, he might be able to get this. I do believe that is Dongyu's own changeling, so Curious has no idea this is happening. He has a few units over here, but he could just snipe that third, get caught by about one fungal, and then leave. Oh no, he's going to take the engagement.
It looks like the units are going to get stuck here.
I don't know about this. This is kind of a weird engagement. Of course, the Hydralisk from Curious once again going out in front, as well as the Infestor is going to be caught over on the left side as well. Dongyu is going to target them down. Oh, they do have Burrow, though.
A lot of the Roaches were stuck at the back or on the ramp for Curious, so they weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
But DRG loses all his army.
Yeah, and Curious has that, would have been a fourth, and now he can just use it as a third. Dongyu's own fourth is about halfway done, but Curious just took out the entirety of Dongyu's army, so he has the opportunity to go ahead and counterattack here.
Yeah, I don't think DRG should have, or he he overstayed his welcome.
Yeah. It was really close timing because the Infestors did get there in time, and that's one of the reasons you don't go up a ramp against someone who has Infestors.
That was
you
pretty
get
risky,
caught.
though. Anything that involves your whole army. Well, when the Vipers are starting up, DRG gonna try to hold on, get the Blinding Clouds down in the next engage probably.
We'll have to see if Curious goes for that later Hive and the Greater Spire again as well, be identical to that last game. But it's now just Curious just defending again, getting up that fourth would be third. He's not really looking to attack now, just getting out, going to take out those overloads that you were mentioning before, and there are a lot of them if he has to push forward.
Yeah, some of DRG's overlords are dying. He's pulling the rest back so they don't die as well.
Yeah, a few more out in the middle of the map, unfortunately, will go down. And that's, I don't believe it's going to supply block him. No, it's not. And he should notice that and get some overlords if that does happen. But Curious, once again, he did poke a little bit right there, but he's really not looking to overextend, because that has been a weakness of a lot of Zerg players.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've done that myself versus Hack even in this tournament.
I just say that because like the last CVZ I casted yesterday, that was literally Suppy versus Sasquatch. Was each one overextended.
Oh yeah, I watched those.
Yeah.
In person, and
I do believe it was on Whirlwind as well. So
yeah.
I think they might have watched it too, and they're being really careful.
So Curious once again is maxed. His fourth just finished, where his third got killed, and he's just posturing back and forth. Same with DRG.
It's actually very even, depending on, as this game has gone on, we've seen a lot of blows back and forth, but, the Harvesters are very even. Technically, Darnagu has the better tech with those Vipers, but he has never gotten 3-3.
Oh, but this pathing, wow. All the Hydras are in the front there when DRG was telling his army to move back, and they walked over that little cliff thingy.
Well, once again, Darnagu does not have Infestors, so he can't catch this clumped up army.
Yeah. And what Curious is doing is just...
Oh, okay, that was a miss.
Yeah, he's split off some roaches for a counterattack at the same time.
Alright, so he's doing, that's really nice. He's going to get the fourth and maybe a lot of drones with it, and he is being attacked, however. Fungals are going down as well as blinding clouds from Dongre-gu. Where is this going to go? It looks like Curious just got demolished right there. Still has a few Fungals left, however.
Yeah, those blinding clouds were really nice. Just made Curious's units run around while a concave was being set up for DRG. But the bad thing is DRG lost his fourth. So he has to make something happen here, whether kill the army or kill bases of his own.
It might be a hatch for a hatch. Darnagu's army was split up right there, and Curious took advantage of that, killed one half of the army, does still have to retreat to the second half, but he's buying time and actually keeping that fourth alive. That should go down, I'm pretty sure, but Curious should still be alive after that.
DRG actually lost some more drones that were still mining from the fourth, and... Well, DRG is going to be able to pick this base off for sure. Yeah. But at the same time, Curious is killing DRG's third, which is going to even further limit the resources he can have.
So for this going better for Curious. Now, Curious still doesn't have a great army. He needs to be very careful about how he, pokes the beast of Darnagu's army, so to say. And Darnagu actually is scared, pulls back. But, I mean, he just lost 2 hatches.
That's not good now because Curious is still mining over DRG.
Yeah. Exactly. He lost 2 hatches. I think he realized that. He stopped pulling back. He said, no, I have to end it here. I gotta attack. Curious's army, is it strong enough? He still has 1 fungal. No, he does not have a fungal. It's 5 seconds away. And he does not. He's going to be able to get it. Plus the ground army. Well, no, it's still in favor of Dongre-gu. And
DRG's army here looks stronger.
Yeah. There's a bunch of roaches coming in from behind, though, from Curious. This isn't the entirety of Curious's army. Plus, he still has those Union forces. There's not a lot coming out.
Yeah, Curious has to gather his forces together and go for it instead of just letting some die off.
Yeah.
And he actually pulling his drones.
Yeah, okay, so this is kind of a... Oh, this is interesting. We do see Dongre-gu is back into a corner. He snipes off the Infestors before dying. It will be his army's death, but once again, he lost those 2 hatches, and while Curious had to pull those drones to the third, he still keeps it alive.
Oh, wow. This was such a close game.
Yeah.
Very good to watch.
Yeah, he almost took it at the end there.
Yeah, Curious, despite losing all the drones earlier, with the wall mishap, was able to catch back up and actually win in the end. Very impressive.
Yeah, so that's a Curious 2-1 over Dongre-gu. Really, really well done by him. Very back and forth, all 3 games, I do believe. So that was a nice CVZ to watch.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the graphs right now. The workers active tab actually was double for Curious. So if he actually held that attack off without losing half his drones, then he would have been such a good spot. But then later on, DRG committed with his army at the third, killing just a few drones there in a third for all his Roach Hydra, while Curious maintained his army. Was bad for DRG. And overall, really close series, I would say. Just some mistakes here and there that made things go back and forth, and eventually Curious was able to win it 2-1.
Yeah, so nicely done by him. Guys, this is MLG Studio. We're casting IEM Group C. I'm not quite sure which group or who won on the other side of the group, and it's on a bracket, but we'll be getting that information to you very, very shortly. And thank you all for watching. I'm Zombie here with Handrelisk, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.